I'm back with an update on all my tanks. It's been a while since I've been recording anything. Life happens, I guess. So now we're back, and there's been a lot of things happening. So I'll just run through all my 3 tanks. This is still my Aquascape, and as you can probably tell, there's been a lot of growing in the plant-wise, and I've also made some changes to the fish. Last I recorded was kind of small plants, but now it's been growing significantly, and I actually don't know how old it is. I'll just put that in. But if we start with the fish, I switched out the scalars, mostly because my largest scalar died, and the others weren't really growing that much. So I made a change and got rid of the last couple of scalars and bought some Bosmani rainbow fish. Unfortunately, they are still very small, so that sucks, because they do also take some time to settle in and grow. Some of them do have nice coloration already, but there's also a bunch of greyhounds. When it comes to plants, there haven't been so much changing, others than the background of the tank. I have been struggling to find the right plants to really fill out the back. My first plan was to go with Motividensis, but they couldn't survive. So now I turned to some Cryptocrine, Crispitula, and there's also some, I guess they're called blood red, but they aren't really that big. And then I have a plant I can't remember the name of. Sorry. I'll put that in as well. But it's these kind of thin and narrow plants here. I like them. And in this side, it's actually filled out quite well, and it looks kind of fine. But in the left side, it's still a bit thin, so that's okay. It's getting to a nice stage, and I really like it. I really like this Aquascape. It's my first really full-blown Aquascape, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. Technically, this is lit by the Skylight FL. Really nice lamp. It's got so beautiful, nice, vivid colors, natural also, and likewise the background is a light ground RGB, and that's really cool as well. I really like that. You can change colors on the app, and it gives a tank so much more. I'll just try to turn them off quickly. You can see the difference clearly. It sure does make a difference, and you can change the colors after your mood, what your kind of colors you prefer. So that's cool. I like that. And then it's CO2 art, running in the CO2 pipes, and I've just received a new CO2 art supply for my other tank. So that's gonna be cool. One of my biotopes are going to be running CO2 in the future, so that's good. All plants are Tropica, and all the Hardscape is VO. So yeah, that's really nice. I do consider to switch out the diamond tetras. I think in a way they are kind of too grey. I like the shiny of them, and so, but yeah, sometimes I just think I would like to try something new, but I can't bear to switch them out, because they are breeding in this tank. So I've never had any tetras breeding, actually, because water here in Denmark should actually be too hard. But this fella right here, there, that's actually the largest offspring of these breeding tetras, and that's just so cool, I think. So I'll just keep them in, and hopefully these rainbow Osmani will paint the tank with colors. And algae are actually pretty much done. The diatoms ended after settling the tank, and then I had some BBA. The balance of the tank took some, and buying some Siamese algae eaters took the rest. So yeah, that's kind of good. They are pretty young and very very hungry and eating. As they turn larger, they seem to stop eating, really, and just take the feeding for the rest of the fish. So, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the Aquascape. Then we'll turn to my two biotopes, and we have them right here. We'll take this one as the first, and that's my now it's my longest running tank for the complete same setup. We'll see if we can take the whole tank. Here we have it, and it's still a West African kind of biotope, and some of me thinks it's time to a change, but I really love it, and I think, said in a humble manner, that it's one of my best tanks, actually. So this Boston fern is just doing an amazing job. A lot of people ask if it's actually growing in water. Inside here we have, it's kind of located on the top of the roots in dirt, and I may not fill the water much higher than this, because if I do, the fern starts to rotten. So you can't have the kind of the roots located and completely submerged, but part of them can, so that's kind of fine. This one is lit by another skylight, the smaller one in the same series. It just makes an amazing light, and you can run a color scheme and so on. We have already been looking at that. So say it's still the same fish. It's the African butterfly cichlids. This name makes perfectly sense because they are just as rainbow fish would do. Actually, they're kind of peaceful, and they do push each other around a bit, but no real mess. And it's really nice fish. I really like it, and they are really nice. And it's still the Achilles as well, doing fine. No breeding in here for either the butterflies or the Achilles for quite some time. I have one small killie in here, bred here, survived. The cichlids have been breeding, laying eggs a couple of times, but they never managed to make it to the fry stage. So I guess I'll be continuing this tank. I like it, and I really like the long roots of these anubias and the kind of natural and messy look down here. It's just nice. And then we'll move on to my newest tank. And this tank has been a real disaster to be fair and honest. It's nothing really ended up like it should, except from the Hardscape, I think. But it started out as a kind of Congo Biotope, and in some ways it still is. But the idea was to have Pantodon bucculces, and I bought 3. They were crazy expensive, but they all died. I don't really know what. They didn't fight, they didn't make a mess, they didn't do anything but just lying completely still as they do. But they died, so I guess the room was, after all, too small. And the last one died as well, so yeah, that sucks. And then I bought as well some I can't name, it's really a tough name. It's the Microcetopoma and Sorgi, something like that. And I bought 4 of them, and they should be in here as well still. But unfortunately I barely see them. On some very rare occasions I will, but they hide all the time. It's the most shy fish I've ever seen, so it's not so much fun about them. Then I have my last pick for the startup. It's these African banded barbs. I like them, but it wasn't really that fish I was going for in the start, so yeah, it kind of sucks. And I was, to be honest, very close to just shutting it all down, because I couldn't get rid of algae in the starters either, so it was very close to just being shut down. And then, so I needed some new fish in here, and this fella isn't Congo at all. It's just an ordinary Cubensis, so that's some Nigerian fish. Lovely fella. Oh, this is a lovely girl. A furious girl. just chasing the male like a crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But it was kind of a compromise, because I would like to have had some of the close to Crebensis fish cichlids living in the Congo River, like the Transvestitus cichlid, but it was just so expensive. So I made a compromise choosing this, also partly because I was still not sure whether I was going to keep the tank running or what. So I bought that one, and then there was the algae issues. This tank was really hard balancing. I've never really tried that before. Diatoms just wouldn't die off. They kept returning, kept being there, and I ended up concluding that there wasn't enough substrate in here to actually run or house the amount of bacteria. I think I underrated the effect of bacteria in the substrate, because it's very, very a very thin layer, and it's also very, very fine sand. So I throw in some more substrate in the back, and upgraded the filter as well, and so now the diatoms are gone. But of course I'm not algae free, because as you can see, I'm having troubles with my death enemy BBA, and although I bought a Siamese algae eater for this tank as well, it haven't been doing its job. It's the most lazy Siamese, and it's going. It's keeping. I'll keep it going, and hopefully I'll keep it. Mostly because I actually like the Hardscape, and I like this Anubias themed tank. My plan for it is to add CO2. This is the tank I'll be adding CO2 to on from CO2 art, and then my plan is to put in large big bolbitis in here, in this area. So hopefully this will be a nice good one when you see it next time. It's plant from Tropicales as well, and these beautiful rocks and the nice reddish sand is from Wio as well. So, and the last thing is I've also upgraded the light. It's a new one from Skylight. It's the Entriq, and apart from being a bit not as powerful as my other twos, it does have a lot of the same features and can be controlled by the same app, and it can be programmed for different colors and dimming, and running pretty much the same scheme set as I can on these bad boys. So that's just amazing. I love the Skylight lamps, so big shout out to them as well. So I think that'll be it. We'll just take a last look at the Aquascape. Yeah, and then we'll call it an update.